Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to the River Method, day 2. So, wasn't yesterday so amazing? We talked about the mountain, we talked about dynamite, we talked about floating down the river, and so we really talked about emotions, what's happening in our emotions. Hi, gorgeous. If you're here, say hi. And so I have this sheet to talk about where am I? Because we talked about like what's going on in our emotions, right? What's going on in our physical body? What is happening that's causing us to like just completely jump off the bandwagon? Lindsay is here, Prosperous Lake Hugh, Melanie, Barbara, hello, welcome. And so today I want to start with kind of a review of where am I? Because without awareness, we cannot have change. Without awareness, we cannot have transformation. And we all are saying, I want transformation. It's not happening for me. This isn't working. This is taking too long. It's too hard. I'm gonna try and it's not gonna work. All of the lies, right? And when we have a lie, we have a feeling in our body. And sometimes the feeling feels like it comes before the thought, and sometimes the thought becomes before the feeling. And before we get into that, we need to figure out where are we? So I have a set of a few questions that you can start to ask yourself. Where am I? Okay? Am I feeling anxious about my health? Yes? No. Am I neglecting myself physically, spiritually, mentally? Is there a neglect of a side of self-care and soul care that we're neglecting? Are you neglecting a part of it? Are you neglecting the spiritual side? Are you neglecting the physical side? Are you neglecting the mental side? Are you neglecting any part of your being, mind, soul, spirit, physical body? Lindsay says I'm 50-50 right now, feeling anxious about your health. So you're like one step in, I'm feeling good, and one step in, impending doom. Warning, 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 impending doom. How many of us feel that way? I was at yes, but since finding you and working through things in Prevail, the dial is more moving to 50-50. Oh my gosh, Lindsay, that's so amazing. I'm so proud of you. Am I obsessing about my physical body? Are you obsessing about it? How many times are you on the scale? How many times are you like, I've got to make sure that I'm under 5 grams when I'm eating this meal? I can't possibly like ever do that. Is it all consuming for you? You know what I just realized? I'm like, oh, I could take a drink now. My drink is on the counter in front of me. Sorry, squirrel. I am neglecting having my water with me during this class. And are you obsessing? Like, I dare not ever eat a crossover or it's gonna lose. No, can't do it. I won't. Are you obsessing anywhere? So we have to see all sides of the spectrum. Are we neglecting? Are we obsessing? Do you feel stuck? Raise your hand and comment, do the like little hand emoji if you're like, I'm feeling stuck. Like you're floating down the river and you get caught in the cul-de-sac and the water is rushing by you, but you're stuck in there and you can't get out. You're like, I'm on the float, Megan. I'm trying to float in the river and I'm stuck. Are you feeling stuck? Not feeling as energetic or positive as I once was. Are you there? Where are you? Lindsay is saying she's feeling stuck. Lindsay, when you say you're feeling stuck, then we get to ask, where? Where do you feel stuck? Our bodies are in motion. We are made up of emotions. When something is in motion, it goes, it flows. We cannot destroy energy. We can't destroy it. We can only transform it and transfer it. Are you returning to old patterns? In the losing part of the journey, I don't feel like it's going quick enough. Yeah. So we measure our success based on a timeline and time. But time is man-made. Like God created the universe knowing that there was no end. We, men, created this is a 24-hour day, night. We have to follow a clock. Because before there were clocks, there was just daylight, sunlight, nighttime. There wasn't a you have to be here by this point or you're blah, 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 right? Like mine yesterday when I was like, you have to be here by this point or you're not a good mom because you're late. You're not a good housewife because you're late. Time. What is our measure of time? One of the greatest things and gifts I've given myself is I took away the pressure of time. I gave myself the gift to evolve and grow no matter how long it takes. Whether I learn a lesson in this day, in this meal, in this moment, because I took a misstep and I fell flat on my face, and I choose to see that as a lesson that I can gather from. And sometimes the greatest things that I have is a lesson. That's the best way to learn for me sometimes, is a lesson. Then there's other ways where I can just have somebody teach me and I go flow into it and I step into the thing that they're teaching me. I'm like, I got it. I didn't have to fall flat on my face. But the moments where I fall flat on my face are the moments that have taught me the greatest lessons. So I stopped shaming myself because I took a misstep and I started celebrating. There's a big lesson for me here. Lord, show me what it is. I don't want to be tested in this again. Show me the lesson. What can I learn from this? Jen, welcome! I made it to the live, yay. It used to be the scale, but now I see myself in the mirror and I don't see any progress. We're going to talk about the practicality of the river method and how to track progress tomorrow. We're going to talk about the system that I used that helped me stay out of the net of it's not happening quick enough and that I'm not seeing progress. We're going to talk about that. Also, in Dessert for Breakfast, there is a group, there was a call that I think it's still in there, where we talked about tracking and how to track and how I tracked. We talked about tracking, so that may also be beneficial for you. So are you creating new unhealthy patterns? If you're feeling stuck, are you creating new unhealthy patterns? Are you returning to old patterns? Or is it just this thought that I'm doing all the right things and it's taking too much time? And then there's just this I get to just look at the food that I'm having and okay, how can I tweak one thing? Okay, so where am I? It's really, really important for us to identify where we are if we want to create and cultivate change and transformation. Often what happens is when we say, where am I? We have a thought about that. I'm stuck. My weight isn't moving. I don't see any progress. So we have that thought. We have the thought. There's stuff over there. Then after we have the thought, we have a feeling, which is called a feeling thought. But remember yesterday I said that your first thought you aren't responsible for the first thought, but you are responsible for the second, and you are responsible for the feeling of the thought that you have. It's when we have a feeling thought that we start to create something. We start to create a channel, a change in our body, a wiring in our nervous system. And we want to get out from having a nervous system wired for disbelief. that this can actually happen for us, that we're worthy of this thing. We want to take that out of our system. So when you have the thought of, I'm not making progress, I'm doing the things, the scale isn't moving. If you have that thought and a feeling happens after you have that thought, then you have a feeling thought. That's when you're starting to notice the stress in your body. When you have the I'm stuck, it's not seeing any progress, what feeling do you get inside your body? What is the feeling? What is the feeling thought that you're having? Like, that's a whole feeling, right? Or I can say, I'm not seeing the results quick enough. And then we can look at what are the habits that we're actually doing, and are they moving us in the right direction, and how many days have we been consistent in those, and then can we celebrate that? Celebrate it. Get excited of how many days you've been consistent. That's incredible. After we have a feeling thought, we also then go into an action. We do something from our feeling thought. And most of the time, we do something, if we've had a negative or a heavy feeling thought, we do something in the opposite direction of where we actually want to go. It's like we put our float in the river, we've jumped in the inner tube, and we're trying to swim upstream when the river's taking us downstream. The negative feeling thought about I'm stuck, I don't see any progress, and then we feel heavy with that is the equivalent of us trying to swim upstream in the inner tube. We're going to get exhausted. It's going to be so exhausting. You're going to be like, this is too hard. I need to give up. I need to rest. I'm so glad that word just came to me right then, because that's not in my notes right now. And so after we do the action, forget it, I'm just going to eat X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to stay consistent. I'm going to do the things opposite of where I actually want to go. Then we have a belief. And the belief is, this isn't going to work for me. This is too hard. I need a break. This is never going to work. Who do I think that I am? And we cycle from that belief system. Then the next time we have a thought, it's around the belief system that we've created for ourselves. And we just go bloop, thought. I have a feeling about it. I do something, and now I have a belief. And then I'm creating evidence that this is truth in my life, even though it's not actually truth. Then I have a thought that I am stuck. My weight is not moving. And I feel about that, like impending doom is coming. You're not being successful fast enough. And I feel that in my body. From that feeling, I have an action. And so I might go eat the Halo Top ice cream, but I'm eating the whole entire thing and not just eating a little bit of it. I'm eating the whole thing. It's Trin Healthy Mama, but I'm abusing the plan. Or I'm doing, and then now I've created a belief system, because now I'm doing it again. I'm not showing up in 100% like I said I was, and doing things that I said I wouldn't do, instead of realizing that the actual evidence that's there is the last time you had that thought and that feeling, you derailed for a month. But this time you ate a more nourishing item to your physical body, and you created evidence that there is change. Except we think that change needs to happen now. We've put pressure of time on ourselves to create a change. And it's when I said, I don't care how long it takes, I'm all in on my health journey. I don't care how long it takes, I'm all in on my healing journey. I don't care if I need to get a life coach. I don't care if I need to hire a coach. I don't care if I need to have a boundaries coach. I don't care if I have to have a counselor. I don't care. I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in on my healing journey. Not I'm all in on perfection. Not I'm all in only if it happens in a certain amount of time. Did you put an expectation on how much your transformation, how fast it has to happen? We're taught that. Everybody teaches us SMART goals, and that was the worst thing that I could have done for myself, is create a SMART goal with the time ending. Because what if I've lost 10 pounds and my goal was 15? Then I discount the 4 pounds that I haven't, the 5 pounds that I haven't lost, and I have a thought and a feeling about it. And then I go start swimming upstream back against the direction that I want to go, and I have an action that does something that's not going to help me get to my goal, and now I have a belief that this again isn't going to work for me. When I'm not even celebrating the 10 pounds that have been released from my physical body. Part of the issue with feeling like it's not going to go quick enough or we don't see any progress is celebration of the small wins. I'm going to teach you how to do that tomorrow, so I'm not going to get into that today. So I want to ask you a question. Are you protecting your fear more than you're protecting your peace? You're protecting one or the other. And if you're feeling stuck, like it's not quick enough, like you don't see any progress, you're protecting your fear that this may not work for you. Until you learn that it takes just as much energy to protect your fear as it does to protect your peace. How are you protecting your peace? Some of this comes with the system that I'm going to teach you tomorrow. Some of this comes with celebration. Some of this comes with taking the pressure off of yourself and getting filled up. Do you know how to live from a place that is filled up? Oh, that one hits a little hard. It did for me too, Lindsay. It did for me too. It did for me too. Are you protecting your fear more than your peace? I was definitely a fear protector. Yeah. Like, I don't want to tell anybody that I'm like gonna do this thing because they might find out that I'm trying to lose weight. And if they find out I'm trying to lose weight and I don't, what are they gonna think of me now? What are they gonna think of me if it takes me 5 years? What are they gonna think of me if it takes me longer than it took them? What are they gonna think of me if I misstep? So we protect. That was me too. We protect our fear. Like this is mine. Like we protect our cell phone because we carry it around all the time. You know, this is mine. You can't have it. It's mine. I'm not gonna give you my fear. It's mine. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. And we're like, come on, get in the river. The water is warm. Don't be afraid. It's warm. It's not even cold. The water's warm. It's flowing. It's not even like rushing. It's flowing slowly. Just come in the river with us. But I'm afraid this won't work for me. I'm afraid. I'm afraid I might feel these feelings for me. These feelings. Nope. Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna give you my fear. And then we're already disappointed with ourselves. We have premeditated disappointment and we protect it with our fear. Where are you premeditating disappointment on your healthy and whole journey? Where are you protecting your fear instead of your peace? And the peace that says, anything I ask the Lord and believe that I can receive, it will be mine. So if your peace can only stand behind, Lord, help me be peaceful throughout my day when I'm eating food. Just 24 hours, that's all I'm asking. Then start there. There was a period of time where in order for me to stay on the Trim Healthy Mama plan, I had to give myself 2 rows of Lily's chocolates at the end of every day. Like, give yourself a high five, girl. That's what it took for me to stay on plan. I had to eat dessert for breakfast, and I had to have 2 rows of Lily's chocolates at the end of every day. I did what I had to do to get to the place where I wanted to go, and staying on plan more than 24 hours was that difficult because my belief was this small. This small. Now, my belief is from one hand to the other. As long as it takes, I'm all in, Lord. Like, I'm on this journey. I know you're guiding me. I can hear you. I have evidence that you're working in my life in this way. I'm all in. I'm all in on my healing on the inside. I'm all in on the healing on the outside. And I'm not neglecting. I'm not obsessing. I'm just in the river. I'm letting it flow. I'm waking up in the morning and I'm like, what do you have for me today, Lord? Do I need to eat more vegetables today? Are you nudging me to drink more water? Would you like for me to do I need to take a bath and listen to worship music and just have space to chill? What is it? What do you have for me today? Are you asking those questions? That's how I start to protect my peace. And I protect my peace by getting filled up. So we have to learn first how to receive love. I talk about 3 things a lot: receiving love, holding love, and overflowing with love. So the receiving love might come into, oh my gosh, dear, look at you, you're looking fly. Or I can't whistle, but I walk past my husband and he's whistling at me. Nope, see, can't whistle. Oh my gosh, I cannot whistle. He's like, woo, woo. And my initial response would be ugh, you're just saying that so you can get something from me when we're done with our date. You don't really mean that. Oh my gosh, love is blind. You are so blind. I wish you could just open your eyes and see what's really in front of you. Can you receive a compliment? Most of the time, our ability to receive a compliment can tell us how much we can receive love. Can you receive it? Can you receive the promises of God even if you don't have to work for them? Or are you only able to receive them when you blood, sweat, and tears your way through it? Can you just receive? Can you sit in the float and let the river take you where it's supposed to go, to the stream, downhill? So how much do you receive love? If another, girl's like, oh my gosh, I love your smile. Oh my gosh, look at your earrings. Oh my gosh, that's such a cute outfit. Girl, thanks so much. I got it at the Goodwill, or I got it on sale. We have to justify why somebody else is giving us a compliment instead of just saying, thank you, I received that. So there's the first part of it is we're going to work on receiving love. And I'm going to do a little exercise at the end of this, and we're going to receive love. I'm going to teach you how I started to receive love, because for me that was the epitome of my success with evolving and growing and actually having healthy habits stick. And that's what we're after. We want healthy habits to stick, and we want inner peace all at the same time. And we want to be loved whether we have success or we don't have success. We want to receive love. And love it's our birthright. So we want to, that's the point. Let's get to the receiving. But how well do you receive a compliment? And do you feel like you have to justify the compliment? And do you feel like you have to re-compliment back? If somebody says, I love your outfit, and you're like, thank you so much, I got this, I got it on sale, $10. Well, you just blew past the compliment. Or, oh my gosh, I got this on sale, it was $10, but I totally love your shoes too, because how dare I receive something unless I'm giving something? Can you receive love? Can you receive somebody doing something nice to you, or you're like, oh no, it's okay, I got it? Somebody coming over and doing your dishes, somebody bringing you a meal when you're not feeling well. I don't want to have to trouble you. I don't want you to have to waste your time doing that, or, use your money for that. No thanks. We have to start receiving love. is the first thing for me. Then I went to this period where I'm holding love. So I've got to hold love. My husband gives me a compliment and I'm like, thank you, I received that. And then I sit down in the car and I'm like feeling a little bloated, and so I'm pulling the seatbelt tight and sucking it in and like feeling a little miserable at the restaurant because I don't really want to be eating here and it's a pain in the butt to eat a salad again. Ugh, we can't hold the love. We can't hold the blessing that was spoken over us at the beginning of the day all the way through the end of the day. So maybe you're in a place where you're like, I get to work the muscle of holding love. Can I receive it? Can I hold it? Somebody says something kind about you, nice about you, and you can say, thank you, I received that. And then something else happens later in the day and you're like forgetting all about the thing that they had said, or it like kind of was evidence that that thing wasn't true. And so we can't hold it. Can you hold it? Can you go through your entire day knowing that you're loved? What does that look like for you to hold love? To know I am a daughter of the Most High King, and to hold that all day long. Can you hold love? So I first started to have to learn how to receive love. And then I had to learn and flex the muscle of how do I hold this all day long? How do I hold this when life felt like impending doom was coming? There's no way that I can keep a hold of this love, because there's evidence happening around me that's saying the opposite of the truth that I'm choosing to believe. And then I let go of that thought, and then I have another thought with the feeling, and I don't feel good about that thought, so then I'm moving to a different action. By the end of the day, I'm not just eating 2 rows of Lily's chocolate, I'm eating the whole chocolate bar because life got stressful. Then I had to learn, how do I live in the overflow? How do I live in the abiding all day long to where I can pour out to other people? What happens is we're taught so many times that I need to get filled up and pour out, and get filled up and pour out, and get filled up and pour out. And that is exhausting. It's so exhausting to be empty. Lindsay says that was me too, my poor husband. Bless him. Yeah, do you know, I just had to go and be like, I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? Thank you for your kind words. So for me, living in the overflow is staying in peace all day long, and I have so much peace that it overflows my cup. It's overflowing, like splashing out. Like the river is bouncing and I'm floating, and it's like bouncing, it's bouncing out of me. Like joy is just coming out of me. Hope is just coming out of me. Love is just coming out of me instead of fear, impending doom. Like our cup is holding something. What is your cup holding? What's coming out of you? What is coming out of your mouth when you're talking about your physical body, when you're talking about yourself and who you are? What's coming out? Then we get to be like, well, what's actually in my cup? And we've been poured into our cup so much, whether it is healthy, truthful things, or it's like negative lies we've been poured into over and over and over. And then we've had so many feelings about all the things that we've been poured into out. We didn't know how to be like, hold up, wait a minute, stop, right? We didn't be like, stop in the name of love before you break my heart. Stop. That's what we need to do with our thoughts. If the thought comes in, we need to be like, stop. In the name of love for myself, in the name of what the Father has spoken over me and the love He has over me, stop. In the name of love, I will not receive that. Or stop. In the name of love, thank you for those kind words, I received them. Right? We have to learn to stop the thought. The first thought that comes in, we stop the feeling thought that happens afterwards, and we align it with the truth. And I've got an exercise to help you with that. Okay, so I want to teach you something that I started doing, and when I started doing this, it radically changed my life. hope I don't make a big mess. I have a jug of water, and I have a really fancy glass. You know, it's just super fun to drink out of glasses. So that was one of the things I started to enjoy food. I started plating it and putting it in yummy glasses, because I don't know about you, but it just tastes better when it comes out of fancy glass. Like, Azevia just tastes better when it comes out of a fancy glass with a little cute ice. Or Cowboy Grub just tastes better when it comes out, when it comes on a plate that's gold lined. It just feels fancy and fun. Okay, this is my cup. This is my cup. And what we're taught to do is we're taught to get filled up. Okay, I'm going to get filled up. And then what we're taught to do, I'm going to turn this here, is we're taught to, I'm going to pour what I got filled up with into my husband. That goes to doing the dishes. That goes to the laundry. That goes to being kind to my children, getting out the door. That goes to sweeping the floor. Oh, the dog peed. I'm empty. I'm empty. And then we try to make healthy choices, eating healthy food, empty, poured out, exhausted, tired, stressed, overwhelmed. This is too much. It's taking too long, because we're empty. But let me teach you how to live filled up. So what I do is, what if I got filled up? What if I learned how to be poured into? And then out of my pouring into, I live in the overflow. The overflow is peace. The overflow is love. The overflow is joy. And actually, as I'm living in the overflow, more is getting poured out, but my cup never runs dry. I'm not exhausted. I'm not depleted, because I'm filled up all the time, abiding in the Spirit. He's pouring in, overflow is pouring out. My cup always stays full. I want to teach you how to live in the overflow. And that is part of the river method. Living in the overflow. Being able to receive love, being able to hold love, and then being able to give it out. But not that I have to pour out what I have and then go get filled back up again. Now, as I started to learn this, I would get poured into and let some overflow pass out, and then I would start to pour it out and be like, I would have the feelings of stress in my body again. And so then I was like, oh, I'm going to protect my peace. I'm going to protect what's happening on the inside of my body, the emotions, the thoughts, the feelings. The feelings in my physical body are a window to what's going on in my heart. Okay? So then I would go back to the thing that I started to do. And there was something that I'm going to do at the end of this today that I did every day for like 30, 60, 90 days before my feet ever hit the floor. And I worked on receiving so much love. That love just like oozes out of me. The fruit of the Spirit flows out of me naturally because I'm keeping my cup filled. So I'm going to teach you how to keep your cup filled. One of the tools. Okay, so let's talk about the lies that we believe. Because we started to identify some of them yesterday. We've talked about some of them today, and I have a little sheet for us about replacing lies with truth. We get to start to be like, okay, if I want to stay filled up, I have to, and I'm stopping in the name of love of the thoughts that are coming in. I have to choose, I have to have truth to stand on. And truth is not just what I feel is fact about me, but truth is what the Bible says that I am, the promises that He made for me. So we're going to talk about that, and then we'll move on. Okay, I am accepted, not rejected. Here's some truths for that. John 1:12. Yet to all have received Him, to those who believed His name, He gave the right to become children of God. Romans 5:11. Therefore, since you've been justified through faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Christ Jesus. Romans 15:7. Accept one another, then just as Christ has accepted you. I am secure. This one was like a big one for me. I am secure in God's love. Romans 8:28 through 30. For I am convinced that neither death nor life, angels or demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height or depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. Nothing can separate me from his love. It isn't like a switch that I can turn on and turn off. Nothing can separate me from his love. 1 John 4:18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear, because fear has to do with punishment. When one who fears is not made perfect, whole in love. Have you punished yourself because you didn't get the results fast enough? Because you misstepped? Punishment comes from fear. When we're punishing ourselves, comes from fear. There is a fear, so we punish ourselves. Perfect love drives out fear. So if we have fear, it's just evidence that we get to bring in God's perfect love for what's going on in our heart. I am bold. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but of power, a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline. Victory is mine. Romans 8:38. No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against me shall prevail. I have a one-of-a-kind purpose that only I can fill. Ephesians 2:10. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us. Matthew 5:14. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. I am the beloved. I praise you because we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. Zephaniah 3:17. The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He will take great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. Song of Songs 2:13. This is one of my favorite verses. Arise, come my darling, my beautiful one, come with me. The Lord is saying, arise, come get in the water. It's one. Song of Songs 4:7. You all beautiful you are, my darling. There is no flaw in you. Which of these truths do you want to hold on to when the lie comes? And then the lie comes and we say, stop, in the name of love. This is the truth about me. There is no flaw. Come with me, beautiful one. Perfect love drives out fear. Some of those can be really helpful when we hold on to that thought and we create a feeling about that. Just as much as we can have a thought and then we have the feeling thought and then we create that feeling and we create an action and then we have a belief and it goes in the downward spiral of landing in powerlessness, hopelessness, those kinds of things, guilt, shame. Just as much energy as it takes to go through that, it takes just as much energy to do the upward spiral. So we can start to spiral upwards. We can have a thought and it might not be a good thought, and then we're like, stop. This is actually the truth, that all beautiful you are, my darling. There is no flaw in you. And then I can be like, there is no flaw in me. God's perfect love is casting out fear. Whatever I ask for in his name, I can receive. I'm believing that thought, and then I drink more water. I could actually drink the water from my cup. Didn't even think about that. Why didn't somebody remind me? Hey, Megan, you have a cup of water now. I'm drinking from my cup. I'm drinking from the overflow. We can cycle upwards just as much as we cycle down into the other direction. Okay. So I want to show you something. I have this necklace on. And I got this necklace last year from a company that you put in your name and you put in the design of the necklace that you want. You put in that you want gold and how many charms you want, and then the design of this. And then they pray over it. And you just put in your name, put in the color and how many charms you want, pay for it, and they pray over you. And then they send it to you in the mail. And this is what I received. I want to read it to you. And I really feel like this is like the calling of God on my life. This is something that I lived for myself and now I teach for others. And it's the anthem. And I feel like it goes right along with the river method. And so I feel like this is also for me, but it's for me to share. It's for you as well. It's for those that are in my world that are coming in and learning, and we're doing this shoulder to shoulder together. It's for me, it's for you, and it's for us as a collective, says Megan. And I just want you to replace that with your name. Lindsay, Kirsten, Jen. Replace it with your name. Breathe. If you've been in any of my containers, you'll know I tell you to breathe a lot. In Transforming Emotional Patterns, a course coming up, you'll understand why I tell you to breathe so much. Breathe and let the light of heaven fill your body, penetrating your spirit and healing every area of your soul. Can we just take a deep breath for a minute? Sometimes we can just let love in from taking a deep breath and knowing that the light of heaven is filling my body and penetrating my spirit and healing every part of my soul. I'm breathing the breath of heaven. You are carried by the arms of the loving Father into the promise He has for your life. This is the float in the river. He is the river, and He's carrying us in the river method in our float. Listen to His whispers as He tells you that you are important and your words matter. Rest and experience His peace. Sit in quietness and just be. Abiding in His presence and consuming His thoughts. You are a champion and you always fight for what is yours. Encountering the love and glory of God. Bringing heaven to earth so others can experience breakthrough. Your Father is filling you to overflowing with abundant life because you are precious to Him. Y'all, what? If you have listened to the last course and this one, you're like, oh my gosh, if you've been with me at all in Dessert for Breakfast or in Prevail or one-on-one coaching, and then you hear that spoken over me of somebody that had no idea who I was, and this is what God is speaking over me, it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to lead women through breakthrough, overflowing with abundant life, simply because we are precious to Him. Breathe. Let the light of heaven fill your body and penetrate your spirit and healing every area of your soul. You are carried by the arms of the loving Father into the promise He has for you. That is an affirmation that we can say over and over and over again in a stop for the name of the love. For the name of love. Stop that thought for the name of love. I am carried by the arms of the loving Father into the promise He has for my life. I am carried. I get to be carried into the promise. Not I have to blood, sweat, and tears my way into the promise. I'm carried. I'm floating in the river. I am carried in the arms of your loving Father into the promise. He's carrying you. Will you let Him pick you up? Can you receive that kind of love? Rest and experience His peace. Sit in quietness and just be, abiding in His presence and consuming His thoughts. So good. So good. So I just wanted to share that with you. My little charms are a tree, an arrow. Look what the words say. It says breathe. It says breathe and promise and be. And then there's some little charms there. The charms are antlers for fighting for what is yours, being a champion. The arrow is bringing heaven down to earth for breakthrough. The tree is abundant life, and the pearl is your precious. I love it. So use that when your thoughts come in. I am carried by the arms of the loving Father into the promise that He has for me. Okay, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna move into our little exercise and then be done for today. But I want to read one more thing for you. Here we go. I'm gonna read it, and then we're gonna do our little something, and then we're gonna have a great Friday evening. Love should not be contingent on when someone is able to do. It's a birthright. Our fear is not so much that we won't be successful, it's that we won't be successful and then we won't be loved. It all comes back to love. So I'm going to teach you something that is a way that I receive love. This was the thing that I did for 30, 60, 90 days. I don't even remember. I did it a long time. Every single day before my feet hit the floor in the morning, I played a podcast called the Be Still and Be Loved. So I'm going to play it on here, and we're going to hope and pray that Facebook doesn't kick us off, because there is music to it. It may, and if it does, that's okay. I'll just repost the link, and then you can have it for yourself to use anytime you want. But I would like for us to do it together. So once we're done with this, then we're done for the day. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for doing this together, for feeling the moments where God is carrying us and feeling I'm actually protecting my fear more than I'm protecting my peace. This is one of the key ways that I started to live in the overflow. It's one of the key ways that I started to protect my peace. And when a day got really hard, I would and I would go listen to one of these until it oozed out of every ounce of my cell and my being, and I didn't have to be validated for love, but I received it. I held it and I overflowed with it. Let me see. I think I can put it right here. Awesome. I'm gonna get this started for you. And then once we're done with this, I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the end of our masterclass.
Sit down and purely rest and receive. Hi everyone, and welcome to
Can you hear
the
that?
time of Be Still and Be Loved. The whole purpose of this time is
Can you just
to
give me
lay
a thumbs
back
up if you can hear that?
or sit down and
Okay, thank
purely
you.
rest and receive. It's to fire up the part of your body that is designed for rest. It calls into account all the parts of your system that fights for you, that rebuilds for you. The design part of you where God says, I've got this. Rest and receive. So right now you'll either find yourself laying down on the floor in a comfortable position on your back. Maybe your feet are resting on the floor with your knees falling together or open, and you can place your hands on your belly or at your side with your palms up. If you're seated, you will just sit comfortably in a chair or in any posture where your crown of your head extends up. You lift the rib cage and root through your tailbone. You can rest your feet on the floor. Have a sense that you are supported by the ground, by the chair, so that you can truly trust, rest, and surrender. Now begin to notice your breath. Perhaps make it audible so you can hear it or feel it. Let it fill your belly. Let it fill your chest cavity. Let it fill your throat, all the way through your jaw, your forehead, as you inhale and as you exhale.
Sorry, it just paused. It's not playing. me see if I can get that on here.
Stands up. You lift the rib cage and root through your tailbone. Inhale, receive these words. I am the daughter of the King. Exhale. I am safe. I am loved. I have purpose. Keep breathing then. Inhale, I am the daughter of the King. Exhale, I am safe, I am loved, I have great purpose. One more time, inhale, I am the daughter of the King. Exhale, I am safe, I am loved, I have great purpose. So God, we thank you that you are the King of kings. You are the King of all creation, and we are your daughters. Help us now, God, not by might or by strength, but by the power of your Spirit. Tell us who we are in relationship, intimate relationship to who you are as the King of all kings. We bow before you. Exodus 14:14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Continue to breathe and inhale. I am the daughter of the King. I am safe. I am loved. I have great purpose. Feel how supported you are where you are right now, that abundance is all around you, supporting you, holding you. Continue to breathe and let that type of abundance, that light, that love, that hopefulness, that faith fill you. Every cell, every bone, every muscle, everything coming in to peace, into one accord. Listen, daughters, the Lord will fight for us. The battle belongs to the Lord. He's already won every battle you will face. You are the daughter of the King. Find any of the fear that hides, represses, pushes upon you. Locate it now if it's in your body, your mind, the fear, the accusation, the temptation to believe that he is not good or all-powerful. Now breathe. Breathe into that space. With optimistic thinking, right standing, a steadfast love. A love that will not quit. Be still. Be violent by being still. Inhale, the Lord is fighting my battles, all of them. Exhale, I have permission to be still. Let the Lord fight the battle you can't even see, but you can feel it. Let the Lord fight the battle that you can see, and you feel it. Royal daughter, queen, heir to the crown. Do not make haste. Do not fear. Do not panic. When you're out, you're in. The battle belongs to the Lord. He will fight for you continually, day or night. He does not slumber. Inhale a trust that goes beyond comprehension. And exhale a rest that is your birthright. You are a woman at rest. Inhale. I am the daughter of the King. I am safe. I am loved. I have purpose. The Lord will fight all my battles. I need only to be still.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for this time today. Thank you for trusting me to invite you into a sacred place of getting filled up without having to do anything, but just to be. You are His beloved. I'm so grateful for you. I'll see you tomorrow morning. And in the words of a mentor, you're beautiful, you smell nice, and I love you. Bye.